And you might say, oh, because now I'm vegan because I wanted to reverse the diabetes. And I know some of you guys have said in my other videos that it's not the meat, it's not the dairy that caused the diabetes, but I'm telling you that is what I believe and know, and science would tell you that. So hi guys, so if you watch my daughter's video at Art and Beauty Freak, you will see there that we measured our blood sugar, and my blood sugar, my fasting blood sugar was 136, and that's in the pre-diabetes level, or yeah, it is definitely in pre-diabetes level. And I've noticed it a little bit. Like a few years ago, I started getting those tingles in my fingers, and numbness too. But I was just thinking, oh, it's like rheumatism or something, and we have that in the family. I thought, like I've had it for so many years. I don't remember not having it. I don't think I had it when I was very small though, but as far as I can remember, I've had it for so many years. And I wasn't thinking of it as maybe you know, that I'm on my way to diabetes, and my grandfather had diabetes, and I would also have cramps, like cramps during, you know, while I'm sleeping at night, or if I'm swimming. And I was just in denial, but of course I didn't know really. I wasn't connecting the dots. And last year, so 2018, I just became so tired, like fatigued. I still had regular menstruation, and so I wasn't thinking about diabetes 1 year ago. When I was so tired, I was just thinking, oh, it's perimenopause or menopause. And so that happened summer last year. Oh no, even earlier than that, but it was last year. And yeah, June and October, I was still working. October, I resigned and said I was so tired, and I think it's my perimenopause. And my boss told me, my manager told me, go and get your blood sugar checked, but I didn't. And so when it was around February, I was just thinking, because last year when I was feeling very tired, I looked up the symptoms of perimenopause, and I couldn't find there so much that they would be, and I had lots of headaches. And I don't understand why I was having the headaches. It was normal, you would be fatigued, but why the headaches? And they said you should go to a doctor if you have headaches. And so I decided, like February, to be plant-based, and it still didn't improve the symptoms. And so a viewer of mine said, oh, you must have diabetes or something like that, because I'm doing candy videos, ASMR candy videos. And I told my girl, I think I have diabetes, and he didn't want to believe me. So he got this glucose care touch, because when I came 2017, we measured my blood sugar, and it was normal. And so he said, no, you're normal too. and so he bought a new one because we couldn't find this old. And when we measured, it was 2 hours after eating, I had like 147, and after you have eaten you shouldn't have more than 140, and I had 147. And one time we measured it 2 hours after eating, it was 245. That's too high. And then that's only when he believed me. And so numbness in my feet, I've been feeling for, like, when I told him that I have diabetes, like I've had it for a few weeks, and that freaked me out. And you might say, oh, because now I'm vegan because I wanted to reverse the diabetes. And I know some of you guys have said in my other videos that it's not the meat, it's not the dairy that caused the diabetes, but I'm telling you, that is what I believe and know, and science would tell you that. So I have many books here. This one is from Dr. McDougall, The Starch Solution. This is from Dr. Neil Barnard, Reversing Diabetes, and from Dr. Michael Greger. So all of them are MDs, so physicians, and I believe Dr. Michael Greger is also a nutritionist. So I've read this, The Starch Solution. I'm not finished with this. It has a lot of science, but yeah, I have to finish that. I have to finish that. So I know many of you, or almost all of you, eat meat, but there is a science on finding that, for example, twins can have the genes to have type 1 diabetes, but many twins, in most cases, only one of the twin would get diabetes and the other would not. So that is proof that your environment, what you eat, would determine if you will get diabetes. And they have seen that dairy, for example, would do that. Your body would fight you, so that's an autoimmune disease. So when it comes to I haven't finished the book, but if you want to know more about dairy and meat causing diabetes, but even if I didn't read this book, or I'm not reading this book, I know for me, at least indirectly, meat and dairy has caused the pre-diabetes, because those foods, at least for me, are so addictive. I love dairy, I love meat, and I'm vegan for health reasons. I'm not an animal lover, I'm not an ethical vegan, I'm not going to pretend I am. So for me, if I eat meat and dairy, I'm allergic to dairy or sensitive. When I was a baby, I was allergic. So when I eat some dairy or some meat, it's not enough with a tiny piece. I have to eat more and more, and that's partly because, yeah, it's my favorite, my taste buds like it, but also because there's no fiber in dairy and meat. So before you're satisfied, before your tummy is filled with meat and dairy, you've consumed so much calories, and of course everything you eat would turn into sugar, and to me, indirectly, that would mean diabetes. So that's why. And also my system is not good in digesting fats, not good in digesting cholesterol, and that's why I had gallbladder stones, and that's why they had to remove my gallbladder stones. And now with the perimenopause, when you have menopause or perimenopause. I still have my mens, but it's not regular anymore, so that's why I'm calling it perimenopause. So I got the last time November, and before that it was irregular, and then the next is February, now March, just tiny bit. Anyways, if you have perimenopause or menopause, your body is no longer efficient in metabolizing calories, in burning fats, in burning. Your metabolism is very low, and that is also causing the diabetes. And so before February I was struggling to not gain weight, and my highest weight was 163, and just to maintain 163, to not gain weight, after that I had to exercise like 3 hours, not losing any weight, but just to maintain my weight of 163 pounds, which is 74 kilos, I think. I had to do that. That is extreme. And so I started with a plant-based diet. So my ambition or my plan was to not eat so much meat. So I really tried to have it like one fourth of the plate, but I couldn't do it. Like I was able to do it some days, and that's when I started losing weight, like 3-4 pounds, but then I would gain it back because then I would eat more meat. So for me, I'm not able to just say, okay, I will just eat 1 drumstick. So I would eat more and more and more. So maybe you're different than me. You have more self-control. But if you have problems with gallbladder, if you have perimenopause, it's so hard to lose weight. And also you're in that stage that you want those foods. It's yummy. You have the mood swings, so you have the mood swings, so for me, my only solution that I could think of because of diabetes was to go back to being vegan. I was vegan for 4 years before 2011 to 2015, and that's my only way of losing weight, of not having a high blood pressure. And if you watch my daughter's video, Art and Beauty Freak, I was able to reverse the pre-diabetes. So from 136 fasting blood sugar, I became 105. So that is still not so good. You should be like max 99 when you wake up. So you should be like max 99 when you wake up, but it will be better. I will make a documentary testing my blood sugar. I want it to be even lower than 105. I want it to be max 99. So if you don't believe me what I'm telling you, I'm not a doctor, but these people are doctors. So, and they're not just doctors. Dr. Neil Barnard is a scientist. He does research. He writes scientific articles. So don't just believe me. Read the books, borrow them from the library. And these two are just paperbacks, so they weren't so expensive, $24. This one is now on sale, or not on sale, but it's now cheaper. How Not to Die by Dr. Greger, and it was 33 before, but now it's only 15. So go to Amazon and yeah, and read them. I will make a video every time I read one and tell you. And yeah, so for me, dairy and meat has given me diabetes, especially without a gallbladder, and especially with the perimenopause here. So if you're a woman or a man who gets gallbladder pains, gallbladder stones, then because of the cholesterol, I would suggest you go switch to a vegan diet, or at least plant-based diet, if you can really restrict yourself. And if you're a woman and is about to go through perimenopause instead of gaining weight, switch to a vegan diet and stop the weight gain and lose weight, because when you gain weight you get more fat cells, and even though they die out, the fat cells, they would be replaced, by new fat cells. So the trick is to never get a lot of fat cells, and you get that every time you gain weight. So the secret is to never be obese or overly overweight. When I was 163, I was overly overweight and almost obese. So now I'm 158. I'm now 158, so I'm losing weight after just not even 1 month. I started with a vegan diet on March 8th, 2019, so it's not even 1 month and I already lost 5 pounds. So I'm now 158 instead of 163. If you have noticed, this is not ASMR. When I started making this video for you guys, I started doing it soft spoken, but I just feel like it's better for me to talk my normal self. I still have the Tascam, so I hope the sound is still good. It's not ASMR because I'm not talking slow, I'm not talking I'm not trying to be soft spoken. The way I talk is not loud though. I'm not. This is my normal way of talking, and the Tascam is on. So if you are an ASMR viewer, I'm sorry, this is not ASMR. But I just wanted to tell you about my opinion about meat and dairy, why I went back to a vegan diet. For me, there's no other choice really. I've tried so many diets. I've tried paleo, I tried Atkins, I read Atkins' book, I bought a paleo diet book. I've never done starvation diets. I'm not into that. But yeah, Maria and I even did a fruitarian diet, but only for 1 week. My aunt and I started a salad diet, for just 2 hours or something, because I love foods. I can never deprive myself. The vegan diet is allowing me to eat as much foods I want, as long as it's high carb, high fiber, low fat. So I eat lots of beans, lots of starch. So it's really the starch solution I'm doing, because I could do like Dr. Neil Bernard wants to, half of your plate with veggies. It's just that it doesn't make me full, and I know I would lose weight if I do that, but since I'm exercising a lot, I'm exercising between 2 to 3 hours a day, I need more carbs, and I don't think I would really change. The only thing I would change maybe is to exercise more or more intense, because I love food, as you know, guys. So okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to this channel, ScorpioAnnYT. Please go to my husband's ASMR channel also, Michael Soothing ASMR, and my daughter's 2 channels, Aryaville and Art and Beauty Freak. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you.